Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me on this lovely Wednesday afternoon. I hope you have all enjoyed your week. Let me know how your week's going, how you're doing in the comments down below. Today, I wanted just to take a look as to the reasons why I love the PlayStation 3 so much. If you're a avid viewer of the channel, you will know that the PS3 is my favorite console, arguably of all time. That and the PS2 definitely are my favorite consoles of all time. And I just wanted to give you the reasons as to why I love it so much, even in 2024. So if you like this content, feel free to subscribe, drop a like, and let me know in the comments down below if you want to see anything more of the collection. Let's get into it. So, yes, the PlayStation 3 was released in 2007, I think a year after the Xbox 360 released, which really hindered the accessibility and especially the price where this came out. This was priced at $600 when it first was released, which is like twice as much as the Xbox 360 at the time. Um, the release was quite rough for the PS3, from what I can remember. I was what I think 10 when the PS3 first came out, 10, 9 or 10. So I was a little weird. But I went to Xbox first because you go to the console where all your friends play, don't you? Let's be honest, you really do. So I had an Xbox 360. I think it was like the 60 gig. Um, I had that from like 2007 to 2010, 2011 is when I first got the PS3 because everybody sort of migrated over to the PS3 system. So obviously, again, you go where your friends are and you pick up the consoles. I've always been a PlayStation fan. I love them. I had a PlayStation 1 when I was really young, PlayStation 2 before the PS3 and the Xbox. But yeah, it's just fantastic. Um, and to be honest, in 2024, one of these bad boys is seriously worth the money. You can pick up the PlayStation 3 console for less than a brand new game. You can pick up a console with games, controllers, all sorts for the same price as a AAA brand new game, like 70 quid or $70 in the US. The value for money you get from a PlayStation 3 system is outrageous. To me, the game catalog on the system is so vast, it caters for everybody and anybody's needs. You're into sports, great. If you're into RPGs, great. If you're into shooters, great. If you're into first person shooters, great. Anything you want, you can essentially play. And most of the game, I would say 90% of the games are like less than £20 or $20. You do get the high, obviously, rare games or the more sought after games like your Silent Hills or your horror games are quite expensive, obviously, because I don't think it's more of a case of they're good games. It's the case of they weren't mass produced, so the prices obviously go up in time, which is understandable. And here in the UK, that is happening, especially in like CEX and everything. The prices of PlayStation 3 games are going up slightly, but to me, I think the prices are still at a very nice level so far, especially compared to the Xbox 360, with the Xbox 360 store closing in, I think, a month, not even. That's really had a knock on effect for Xbox. And to be honest, I have seen a little bit of a knock on effect on the PS3 with a few games going up in price, which is understandable. But again, nothing drastic. Um, there's a couple of franchises like the God of War HD collections, especially Volume 2. They've gone up a heck of a lot this year since January. It was like 40 quid, it's now like 65, 70 quid. Yeah, your rare and expensive titles are obviously rare and expensive for a reason. That's just how it is. But I'd say like 90% of the games, especially like the ones on my shelf, a lot of them are like less than five, less than £10. And to me, that gives so much value for your money, especially at in 2024, where there's more you need to use your money more wisely and get more for your money because cost of living crisis, everybody knows it, but yeah, not everybody has the disposable income they once had, so you have to make more for your money. It just makes perfect sense, doesn't it? So what I'm trying to say is, bear with, I sort of went on a tangent there, but I hope you're here. What I'm trying to say is the PS3 in 2024, just for value wise, offers so much. It does, and to me, if you're thinking like, oh, the graphics is terrible, oh, they don't hold up, they do, they really do. If you're not expecting like cinema graphics or AAA 2024 graphics, and just reduce your expectations just a little bit, I think you won't be disappointed at all. Some of these games are brilliant. They look fantastic. The Uncharted series still look great on the PS3. They really do. The Last of Us, how they got that game to run natively on a PS3, I will not know. But it looks great. It really does. It pushes the PS3 to its limits. It really does. And it looks great. It looks amazing. Even today in 2024, if people are worried about like the graphic capabilities of a PlayStation 3, there's, in my opinion, and it's only my opinion, so please don't shoot me, I don't think there's anything to worry about. I don't. It's not like your PS1s is like, oh, people could make a claim like it doesn't hold or whatever, but you don't play it for the graphics. You play it for the nostalgia hit. You play it because you're reliving your youth. This is what this is about. It's reliving your youth. When I had this, I was, 12, not even, and you know, they were like the heydays of gaming and the golden era of gaming, in my opinion. Um, and will we see that again? I'm not so certain. I just think people are there for the nostalgia. I'm here for the nostalgia of all the old games because the PlayStation 3 system is incredible and I love it so much. Like, even if we get into the hardware situations, like the controller, it's a six-axis DualShock 3 controller, and what they originally did with the controller itself was to motion play, or whatever you want to call it. I know they call it six-axis, but you move the controller, it moves whatever happens on the screen. Very gimmicky, didn't particularly work all that well, especially at the start, but they were innovative and they tried. You can't really hate Sony for doing that. The controller is a I don't know, it's a mixed bag. This was a little bit grubby, but not too bad. Some people like it, some people hate it. If you have small hands like myself, it still fits very nicely. But I can understand if you have like larger, big hands, then you'd think this is quite small, especially compared to the Xbox 360 one, which is understandable. I know the Xbox 360 controller is like a legendary controller, and it is a nice controller. I don't think anybody can hate that at all. But they literally took the PlayStation 2 controller and took the wire off and added triggers. But that's what they needed to do. They didn't need to innovate like massively. Like, you look at the Xbox original controller compared to the Xbox 360, it's completely different. It's completely different. Whereas Sony went, oh, that works pretty well. We'll take the wire off, make it wireless. We'll add triggers. That's it. That's literally all they did. And to me, I think it still holds up really well. You still got that lovely. Hang on. Yeah, the lovely click. It's amazing. It really is. In 2024, I still think PS4 controller is probably the best one they've released. It's the nicest holding in my hand anyway. It's the nicest feel. It's better than the PS5 one, isn't it? Let's be honest. It is. Don't let's just okay. Let's just go over that and just pretend that everybody knows that. Okay, it's just a case. Don't shoot me. So yeah, in regards to controllers and hardware support, it was brilliant. It was great. It was. Even if you go into like the UI at the minute, um, it's very easy to use. It's very easy to navigate. You can go to wherever you need to go. You can go. The PlayStation Store is still there. in 2024. It is. You can still. I haven't been on it for a little while. Fair play. But you can still go in there, access what you need. As far as I'm aware, please let me know in the comments if I'm talking absolute horse. I don't know. It's been a couple of weeks since I've been on there, but yeah, I don't think there's any notices of shutdown or anything like that at the PlayStation Store. So if you want anything digitally, you can still get them, which is brilliant in my opinion. Um, but even if we go into talking about games and the franchises, it was released on the system like 15 years ago. You talk about them, you talk about how they changed the gaming landscape. And to me, the biggest multiplayer one that changed the gaming landscape was Call of Duty. And Call of Duty was around before PlayStation 3, it was on PS2, but the multiplayer, I remember when Modern Warfare came out, it was nothing ever did what Modern Warfare or Modern Warfare 2 did at the time. That's what made it stand out, and that's what made it so popular with regards to everybody playing it, not just your small, like, teenagers, adolescent teenagers, or anybody like that. It hit a wide audience with your older generations, your 20s, your 30s, when they came out, because there wasn't anything like it. And I don't need to preach and tell you how good or how bad the lobbies and everything were on those games, because I think everybody has experienced these, and if you haven't, you missed out. Like, that is the bottom line. You did miss out. Um, yeah, the open mic lobbies. I don't think anything will compare to that, especially now. I don't, for good and bad reasons. I don't know. They were like a, how do you say, a cesspit of interesting characters. But it's just the innovation. They went through innovation, and now look at Call of Duty. They're releasing the same turd over and over again because they're gripping onto the Modern Warfare name. That's literally it, and it's just not the same. There's many reasons why it's not the same. There's, of course, there is many reasons why, and I think the rise of Fortnite and the, like, get better essentially movement is rife. But you know, I have gone off on a slight tangent there, so we're just going to rein it back in. So, like, even if you like your horror games, Saw, it's a franchise that's only on the PlayStation 3 or that era of systems, and we haven't seen one in what, 13 years, maybe 14 years. Remarkable. The first one's amazing. The whole horror genre on the PlayStation 3 offers you quite a lot. It does. There's quite a few different games I would highly recommend if you're into your horror. I really would. Um, excuse me, sorry. And yeah, they are just brilliant. They're great fun. Some of them are ridiculously scary, so be warned. Um, it's just the different franchises, the different entries into the franchises. For example, you got the Need for Speed games. Most of them after Shift were pretty terrible. I won't lie to you, but Shift was good. Pro Street was good on the PS3. It's just the era of games where developers tried something new and different, and if it stuck, great. If it didn't, they'll do something different again. And I think Need for Speed Shift is a prime example of that. Pro Street was pretty good. They thought, okay, we'll do something slightly similar, but again, a different twang on it. And to me, Need for Speed Shift worked. It did. I like my racing games. I do. I really do. But this one's probably my favourite one on the PS3. That or Need for Speed Carbon. They're both pretty good. Um, of course, the game, one of the best games of the game, one of the best games on the system is GTA 4, and I don't think this needs any introduction. Again, it is a Grand Theft Auto game. that released 2008 on the system, and today this game is a 9 out of 10. Storyline, everything is great, and they pushed the limits of the PS3 in 2008, 16 years ago. It's insane, absolutely insane, and hats off to Rockstar. Yes, you could complain that they were missing stuff like game mechanic wise in the actual game itself, but a 9 out of 10 entry, and it's just a highlight of what the PlayStation 3 offers in terms of value. This is like a £3 or £4 game, and everybody should have this game. If you don't, go and get it. That's not me telling you or suggesting you should get it. You need to get it. Okay, you need to. No, stop arguing. And then my friend, it introduced me to my favorite franchise of all time, the Borderlands franchise. I have nothing but high praise when it comes to Borderlands, and I am forever grateful for the PS3 to introduce me to these games. Yes, I wasn't old enough to play them. What are you going to do now? You going to arrest me? No. Okay, I didn't have strict parents. Maybe arrest them. But anyway, let's get happy note. Happy note. Borderlands. Yeah, there's nothing more I can say to this. If you haven't played the series, please do, and let me know what you think about them in the comments, because I really love them. It's a looter shooter. You go around, kill enemies, loot the enemies, kill bosses, loot the bosses. Yes, it sounds boring in me explaining it, but so much to this. The storyline is actually really good as well, surprisingly. Especially with Borderlands 2, it's my favorite one of the series. Borderlands 3 is okay. Um, yeah, Borderlands. It introduced me to Borderlands. I was a little bit late to the party, but I just, again, if you haven't played, oh, a bit of a voice crack there. Ooh-wee. I may or may not edit that out. I'm not sure. Um, yeah, if you haven't played the Borderlands series, please just go and play them. Get a PS3. Like I said, you can buy a PS3, £50, $50, $70, whatever it is. Buy one. You won't regret it. And the easiest thing, the main thing for a PlayStation 3, in my opinion, in 2024, is the ease of access. You know, you don't need any RGB cables or any older TVs or anything like that, because it's HDMI. You put the power in, HDMI in, away you go. It's even got built-in Wi-Fi if you get a Slim. Some of the old fat ones did not have built-in Wi-Fi. Fair point. But buy a Slim. The Slim's probably the most reliable one, in my opinion, because there was, how do you say, some overheating and issues with Yellow Light Death on the original fat ones. But we don't talk about that, okay? No. Them and the original Xbox 360s pretty much had the same issues. But we don't talk about that, okay? We just talk about the good stuff. This is a good console. So, in conclusion, I am heavily still gaming on the PlayStation 3 in 2024 compared to, my PS4 or my PS5. It's my most played console. It is the games and the gameplay of certain games. There's just so much to choose from. There's so much variety. There's so much to just sink your teeth into. You just need to experience it. And if you haven't, what are you doing? Like, even if you get an Xbox 360, it's the same thing. If you're Team Green, great. Experience it. Experience the seventh generation of consoles, because you won't be disappointed. I think the PS3 and the PS4 in 2024 are the most value for money consoles you can buy. If you're looking for a new experience, PS4 is the way to go. If you're looking for a little bit older, cheaper experience, PS3 is the way to go. Okay, I'm not taking any other options. No, PS3, Xbox, whichever one, I don't care. They're the same console, essentially. Just buy one. Just be warned with the Xbox that the store is going to be shutting. So if you want one, buy one now. Because I can see games going up in price, and they have already drastically gone up in price in some of them. So pause this video, go onto eBay, go onto Gumtree, go onto Vinted, and buy one. I'll still be here when you come back. Don't worry about that. I'm here. I haven't gone anywhere. Have you bought one yet? No? Buy one. You buy one off your mate. Buy one off Facebook. They're cheap. Everybody, they're still trying to get rid of them. You can pick them up for like 30 quid, if not cheaper. You may not get any games with it, but like, you can go to CEX for 20 quid and buy like 15 games. I've done many 10 must have games on the PlayStation 3 system. So just go look at one of those videos. I'll link them in. Go look at one of those videos and just take a look. To me, in conclusion, buy PS3. They'll be a little wet and have some great fun. You can still play online on some of these games as well. Yes, they're not going to be too populated. Call of Duty is still populated somewhat, especially on weekends. Is probably your best option. But yeah, I am. These are my reasons why I'm still playing the PlayStation 3 in 2024. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you have, drop it a like, subscribe if you are new, and just leave me a comment on your opinions of the PlayStation 3 system, because I'd love to know. But for now, guys, I'm out, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves, guys.